Vialli waiting with his stopwatch there because of the smoke. It's going to take a while to clear. It's quite a scene. If anything, it's going to get worse.
You know, it amazes me, you know, you have all these rules and regulations about the banners and that in the grounds. I can't believe they allow this.
Well, of Chelsea's 10 goals in Europe this season, 9 have come in the second half. And it's hard to believe that, having seen what we did before the break in the San Siro this evening, someone somewhere won't be able to break through before the evening's out here now. Part of the pitch is entirely obscured from view, but Chelsea are moving into clear air now, and they're doing so in the shape for the first time on the right-hand side, newly repositioned of Dennis Wise. Morris just on, is in advance of him, Zola just behind, Deschamps square, and the point of the attack has changed now to Babayaro up from left full-back. Deschamps. Tackler is Gattuso. It's Chelsea's free kick.
I think the more and more it stays even Steven as well, of course. I mean, that's innocuous. I think the referees given some very innocuous free kicks. Straightforward bread and butter challenges. If it stays like this, you know, I think the advantage more and more goes towards Chelsea, because Milan will have to come forward. They know that a draw is of little use to them.
Ferrer. Away from him by Shevchenko, back doing some donkey work in the defensive third. Zola came to receive the throw. Gattuso cleared from the edge of the penalty area. Now Bierhoff holding up. And Guly. Away from Poyet. Taking on Babayaro. Leonardo now. Leboeuf with the interception. Forward by Gattuso. Desailly high on the back of Bierhoff. Although, why shouldn't he compete?
The crowd's got them that free kick. There's no question. He may or may not have been leaning on, but the ref had no intention of giving it until the crowd reared up. Now, we saw Shevchenko in the first half welly one of these, didn't we?
I see no reason why he wasn't entitled to compete for that.
No,
and he did so as cleanly as could reasonably be the case. Shevchenko is all warmed up and ready to roll again. Chelsea's wall is poised. Shevchenko's hit it, and this time with too much elevation. A yard off target is, by that man's standards, a long way off the mark. And Vialli could afford to smile. Poyet for Babayaro. Yellow card being shown to Leonardo. And it seemed a fairly innocuous moment, with the ball not too close to the event. And he, as you see, misses what might still turn out to be a really important game for Milan in Istanbul next week. The extent to which Leonardo ends up regretting that indiscretion will be determined by what occurs over the next 40 to 45 minutes here and elsewhere. Morris, Babayaro, Desailly in a bit of a cul-de-sac. Leonardo emerging from that cul-de-sac.
Yeah, I think Desailly was entitled to just miss the midfield out on that and chip one into the front players. Midfield players very heavily guarded there. This is what they're boxing, Milan are boxing Chelsea in a little bit now.
Serginho, clever little dinking run. Morris brought it down. Deschamps away. Chelsea just a little more resistible than they were at the start of the first half, but still going forward now in the little person of Zola. And then Deschamps. Deschamps couldn't keep it in. It's a murky old scene, though, because of the smoke. It feels more like a November Tuesday evening at Vale Park in terms of one's vision. Anything but in terms of the atmosphere, the warmth of the occasion. Here's Guly. Shevchenko's pulled away wide, and he's ridden the challenge of Leboeuf. And it required Babayaro to time his sliding tackle expertly. Momentary mistake by Costacurta. Ayala, impeded in the referee's view by Flo. It's Milan's free kick.
Yes, so once again, I thought it's something nothing. I thought he launched with it. Forced Costacurta to Ayala to lose possession.
Ambrosini, up by Leboeuf. Ambrosini kept on going. He found the challenge from Morris, and it was right beneath the referee's nose, and he allowed it to go. Leboeuf.
That's good play from Leboeuf. Controlled as he's come out, and he puts them quite a few players up in front now.
Zola. Poyet. Zola watched it out. Boban warming up for Milan now. Wise. Flo. Pushed wide by Ayala. Flo won it back, but only via Serginho's ankles. Didn't take much persuading to go down the Brazilian.
No, it's a crumpled job, isn't it?
Through by Gattuso. Too much on it for Guly.
Well, they're forcing Chelsea back a little bit. The Chelsea have to defend a little bit deeper than they really would like to at the moment.
Serginho. Ambrosini out by Leboeuf. From within half a yard of Ambrosini, who was favourite to attack the ball from Milan's point of view. Morris. Away from Zola. Re-won by Morris. And now by Desailly. Wise, meanwhile, had been errant within full view of the referee. He was a big fan of his whistle.
Certainly at the moment the game isn't flowing, particularly as far as Chelsea are concerned, anywhere near as much as it was the first half. At the moment they're hanging on a little bit and trying to resist quite a bit of pressure.
It's Serginho over the free kick, left-footed player. Up by Babayaro. Gattuso had a crack, it came back off Deschamps. And now a try from Ambrosini! And a very good save by Goey, who may well have seen that late. Ambrosini hit it instinctively and hard.
Well, that's a brilliant save. As you say, he could not have seen that till the last minute. And a magnificent turn around the corner there from the big goalkeeper.
Corner's a deep one. Too deep, Ayala couldn't keep it in.
It's a big time in the game, though, now. They're getting up ahead of steam. They probably said, well, they do sense that they've got to win this Milan, really, to have a realistic chance of going through. Look at that, that's a big boomer. That's a great save, that. Goey's getting a bit of stick for his efforts there. A few things hurled at him.
Touched by Bierhoff. Desailly was aware of the danger. Babayaro for Flo, who again is hemmed in. There were three around him within seconds of his gathering the ball near halfway.
Yeah, to get rid of that, they obviously would try and box Flo in. Chelsea have got to try and nick a few balls down the side like they were in the first half. Into the gullies and let Flo turn the defence.
Zola, didn't he fight for that hard? Poyet, Morris, Deschamps, bit of space. Wise is wide. Zola through the middle. Ayala well stationed. Costacurta. Guly. Away from Babayaro. Desailly from Shevchenko.
Seems any form of bodily contact, the referee. I mean, that is a great example there of little Deschamps battling against the big fella, getting his strength in there. Watch how he gets across him here with strength.
Now the upping in volume is because they've seen Boban preparing to come on. The Croat, who had such an impact on the Milan derby at the weekend, will soon be amongst us. Meantime, it's Serginho with the free kick. Serginho too lifted in. Bierhoff climbed, back in by Shevchenko, and then over the bar from Bierhoff when Guly had almost inadvertently lifted it in his direction.
I think he'd have done very well to get over the top of this, though. I think there was a big suggestion he was offside, to be fair. Yeah, I thought it'd be Leonardo. That'll keep his shape. They can retain the same shape then, with a free midfield player floating behind the two strikers.
The end of the Brazilian, the arrival of the Croat. 3 Serie A titles and a European Cup since his arrival in Milan in 1991, Croatia's captain. What a save that was from Hogh a short while ago. From Ambrosini's volley.
Yeah, certainly they can't get started at the moment, Chelsea, since the break. But one attack that was fairly dangerous. Apart from that, it's been all